Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Nurul. I'm from 5th class, and in this video I would like to tell you about categorical variables. And this is the table of content from my materials. The first one, there is definition of variable and the definition of categorical variables, and the next is type of categorical variables, and the last is example of categorical variables. For the first material is what is the definition of variable. The definition of variable. A variable in research simply refers to a person, place, thing, or phenomenon that you are trying to measure in some way. In scientific research, scientists, technicians, and researchers utilize a variety of methods and variables when conducting their experiment. In simple terms, a variable represents a measurable attribute that changes on or varies across the experiment, whether comparing results between multiple groups, multiple people, or even when using a person in experiment conducted over time. The next material is what is categorical variable. Categorical variable represents groupings of some kind. They are sometimes recorded as number, but the number represents categories rather than actual amount of things. The categorical variable, sometimes called a nominal variable, is one that has two or more categories, but there is no intrinsic ordering to the categories. For example, gender is a categories variable having two categories, male and female, and there is no intrinsic ordering to the categories. Hair color is also a categorical variable having a number of categories: blonde, brown, brunette, red, or etc. And again, there is no agreed way to order this from highest to lowest. Purely categorical variable is one that simply allows you to assign categories. You cannot clearly order the categories. If the variable has a clear ordering, then that variable would be an ordinal variable as described below. And the next materials is type of categorical variable. There are two types of categorical variables. The first one is nominal variable and ordinal variable. And that is the definitions of nominal and ordinal variable. Nominal variables, this is a type of data used to name variables without providing any numerical value, owing from the Latin nomenclature. This data type is a subcategory of categorical data, and unlike ordinal data, which includes something like critical or low in the case of bug severity, it includes example like gender, country, marital status, etc. Due to its lack of quantitativeness, nominal data classification can only be done using mode and not mean. And mostly collected using surveys or questionnaires. This data type is descriptive as it sometimes allows respondents the freedom to type in responses. Although this characteristic helps in arriving at better conclusions, it sometimes poses problems for researchers as they have to deal with so much relevant data. And the next is ordinal variable. This is data type with a set order or scale to it. However, this order does not have standard scale on which the difference variable in each scale is measured. Some ordinal example includes Likert scale, interval scale, bug, severity, customer satisfaction survey data, and etc. Each of these examples may have different collection and analyze techniques, but they are all ordinal data. And the next is nominal and ordinal variables. Nominal variables, thus the data represents groups with no rank or order between them. For example, species names, colors, and brands. And ordinal variables, thus the data represents groups that are ranked in a specific order. For example, finishing place in a race, and rating scale response in a survey. And this is the example of categorical variables. Example of categorical variable are race, sex, age group, and education level, while the latter two variables may also be considered in a numerical manner by using exact values for age and height has grade complete. It is often more informative of categories such variables into a relatively small number of groups. Analysis of categorical data generally involves the use of data tables. A two-way table represents categorical data by counting the number of observations that fall into each group for two variables, one divided into rows and the other divided into columns. For example, suppose a survey was conducted of a group of 20 individuals who were asked to identify their hair and eye color. A two-way table presenting the results might appear as follows. And this table for the example, total of each category, also known as marginal distributions, provide the number of individuals in each row or column without accounting for the effect of the other variable. In the example, the total number of individuals with Since simple counts are often difficult to analyze, two-way tables are often converted into percentage. In the example, there are 4 individuals with red hair. Since there were a total of 20 observations, this means that 20% of the individuals surveyed are redheads. One also might want to investigate the percentage within a given category of the 4 redheads to 50% have brown eyes, 25% has blue eyes, and 25% has green eyes. And this is the example of categorical variables like eye colors. Variables include blue, green, brown, and hazel. And the next is states. Variables include Florida, New Jersey, and Washington. And the last is dog breeds. Variables include Alaskan Malamute, German Shepherd, Siberian Husky, and the last is Shih Tzu. I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.